Welcome to PACTV Community News. I'm Brian Sullivan.
And I'm Julie Thompson.
This week on PCN, we stopped by Pilgrim Memorial State Park to take a walking tour.
We attended the prom with the Prom Angels Foundation at Pembroke Country Club, and Plymouth Area Chamber of Commerce held their Bark in the Park Festival.
We stopped into Duxbury to check out the local brand Petit Peony's new brick and mortar, and we stopped by Camp Nekon in Kingston for an Earth Day cleanup.
To close the show, Pembroke Town Administrator Ed Thorne joins us for Town Talk, but we start this show tonight at Atlantic Subaru in Bourne for a presentation of a big donation to Wicked Good Cause. The Wicked Good Cause Foundation out of Duxbury recently received their largest ever one-time donation from Atlantic Subaru of Bourne. We were there for the check presentation, and we spoke with the group's new president to find out what their plans are for all of this money.
We are here at Atlantic Subaru of Bourne, and we're here to accept a check presentation of over $35,000 from the Share the Love event that we partnered with Atlantic Subaru for this past holiday season as their hometown charity of choice.
I heard about Wicked Good Cause through Ryan Flair and Steve Lane, and immediately we knew we wanted to get involved just based on the stories and the help that they would bring to the families. And it sounded amazing, and it actually was an amazing experience to be part of.
What we were going to do is we're going to take this $35,000 that they are donating to us, and we're going to start this Peace of Mind campaign. And we're going to have two facets to this campaign. The first one is that we are going to be donating $20,000 to our grant program. And through those grants, we are going to be giving money of up to $10,000 at a time to members of our community who are in current need of financial assistance and who fit our mission statement of being hit by an unforeseen accident, illness, or tragedy. The remaining $15,000 that Subaru is donating to Wicked Good Cause is going to launch our Peace of Mind care package program. The baskets will be worth about $500 based on the grant that Subaru is giving to us. And we will be able to do things such as bring a basket to a child who's been diagnosed with cancer, filled with a hero blanket, a new toy, bring gas cards to the parents to help with trips back and forth to the hospital, or gift cards for them to be able to order dinner at night so they don't have to worry about putting food on the table for an evening. Something that is incredibly important about the $35,000 donation from Subaru is that they are enabling us to begin this Peace of Mind program. And without their donation, we would not be able to get this program up and running at this time. We have two major fundraising campaigns during the year, our Winter Ball Gala with predetermined recipients, and then our one cause-based campaign, Go Wicked Gold, where we raise research funding, awareness, and funding for local families for childhood cancer. And between those fundraisers, we don't have a lot of money to donate to other families. Subaru's donation is allowing us to begin this Peace of Mind campaign so we can help families throughout the year.
A walk through Plymouth Memorial State Park may have just gotten a little more intriguing. For anyone interested, the Plymouth Bay Cultural District hosts several informative walking tours that are free to the public, and all you need to bring is your curiosity.
Here in Pilgrim Memorial State Park, we have two kinds of programs that we do. We have really brief programs at Plymouth Rock. We call it the Rock Talk because it is all about that rock, and that's just about 10 minutes long. And then 3 times a day we also do walking tours of the park, and those walking tours of the park are about half an hour long and go into a little bit more detail into the story here of the history of Plymouth. Each walking tour has a different focus or theme. One of them is on the trials and the tribulations of that first year here in Plymouth. The next one focuses on the women of the Mayflower and looks at things from their perspective. And then the third walking tour that we currently do is focused on those forgotten stories of Plymouth. And this season we hope to develop at least 2 or 3 additional ones that we'll be able to rotate through. The walking tours start at the kiosk by the bathroom building, and they end on top of Coles Hill. So it's really not very far, no more than 1/8 of a mile. My GPS app doesn't go that short. We want people to be able to get a little bit more than the basic story of Plymouth that they learned in school. It's not just all about the Pilgrims, and there's a lot more to the Pilgrims than people realize, but we also share the story of the Wampanoag people who are still here today and without whose help the Pilgrims would not have been able to survive. The walking tours happen 3 times a day. They happen at 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. They begin at the park kiosk. There's no need to pre-register. You just need to show up and be ready to walk. During this summer, we will be doing some landscape work to the park in preparation for 2020. While we will be doing our best to minimize impacts to the visitors at that time, there will be times where the walking tours will be impacted because of the construction. So during that time, we'll still be offering programs. It will just be slightly different than the walking tour format.
The Prom Angels Foundation is dedicated to providing quality and social activities which empowers the quality of life for our special needs communities. Every spring for the past 11 years, they host a prom, and this year's event featured hot rod classic car limos, members of the New England Patriots, and of course, music and dancing.
The Prom Angels have been in operation now for the last 11 years, and we put on a prom for our special needs community. And it's just, as you can look behind me, you can see all the love that's in this room. We have people ranging in ages between 16 years of age up to as old as 66 years of age. And we have people from all over the South Shore with all different types of disabilities and abilities. And it's just a wonderful event. And we surround ourselves with people who want to make a difference to the community. For the last 5 years, we've had a number of classy cars and hot rods involved. This year, we were lucky enough to get the Spindles and the Lug Nuts, which is a classy car club, involved. And they picked up about 100 kids today to bring them to the prom. And we've always had a wonderful day, except for today it's a little rainy out there. But we usually roll out a red carpet for everybody, so when they arrive at the prom, it's kind of like a Hollywood arrival. And that's the whole theme of it. And then we just get them in here, and they dance away. Then they get a delicious dinner served by Longhorn Restaurant out of Pembroke, and then top it off with a delicious dessert from Cadita Meister Bakery out of Braintree. For the last 11 years, we surround ourselves with a number of volunteers who come into play. And everybody that's a volunteer in this room has a Corey check done on them, and this is for the safety of our individuals. The New England Patriots we have right now is Geneo Grissom. He came down, and along with, we have 5 former Patriots cheerleaders who are part of the NFL Alumni Association. And they come down every year and they help out, and they're out there serving food and dancing with the kids, just having a wonderful time.
You come in and the kids hear the word Patriots and their faces light up and they don't even know who you are, and it's a lot of fun. It's an honor, it really is. You know, sometimes you have to sit back and think, like, I've been very blessed to have this opportunity, and it's part of my duty to go back and give out and inspire and help somebody else who may need that little nudge to go be great.
We started out at the Pembroke Knights of Columbus, and it got so huge we had to find a different venue. So 8 years ago, I came in, introduced myself to the Ronick family, and I told them all about the Prom Angels, and they fell absolutely in love with it. So the Prom Angels' home is the Pembroke Country Club, and we're very lucky to have the support from Jeremy Ronick, Wally Ronick, and Joe Ronick. They're a wonderful family, and it's a great country club to have an event at. It's just a wonderful evening. The smile that's put on their face, it's just incredible.
As a Pembrokean, I can say that Kevin McKenna is just an amazing man, and thank you to him for the years that he's been doing this, and to the Rennicks who own Pembroke Country Club for donating it, because it's a great event, and clearly it meant so much to that community.
He surrounds himself with a lot of good people too. Every person I met there was really on the level, and this was born out of, I guess, necessity. Growing up, for me, I had a great aunt with Down syndrome, so I knew what it was like. We never ever used the R word.
No.
And but kids did, and they heard it from parents. And this actually got started a long time ago. 3 of his kids have special needs, and at a school dance, he had a really impolite interaction with a parent who used that word. And he said, "No more of this. Let's do something that these kids can enjoy and not have to be subjected to."
That kind of intolerance.
So, and it was awesome. It was so fun. I had fun there.
And look what was born out of that. It was just a great event. Good for him. God bless him.
Each year, the Plymouth Area Chamber of Commerce hosts Bark in the Park, a get-together dedicated to our four-legged friends. We stopped by to learn more about this great community event.
Today we're at Bark in the Park. It's our 9th annual dog pet-friendly event here on Nelson Park in Plymouth. We've been doing this, like I said, for 9 years now, and it's a great event for the community and members of Plymouth and the surrounding towns to come down, have a great day with their four-legged friends. We have over 32 pet-related vendors here. We also have food vendors. We have canine demonstrations. It's a really fun day for the whole family, and especially dogs. The Chamber originally started this event to create something there's not a lot for dogs. There's over 10,000 dog licenses in the town of Plymouth, and we thought it'd be nice to have some sort of event for them. There's a big dog community, and it's a great way to get that industry also together as well. Those members of ours that are in the pet-related field, an opportunity for them to get out and showcase their goods and services. So for this event, we get 2,000 plus attendees. This year, we actually have added an addition of a Bark and Brew Garden, so we're expecting even more attendees. So we have a beer garden, 21 plus obviously, to get into that, but it's a great addition. People can bring their dogs right in and sit down and have a beer with them. And right now, it's already full, and we've been open, just about an hour. So people are really, really excited about it.
After developing a strong following with their online presence, the owner of Petit Peony Children's Boutique Clothing decided to open a storefront. The new location is on St. George Street in Duxbury, so PCN stopped by to see how the new space is working out.
This area really kind of speaks to the brand in the sense that the architecture is beautiful, and I just felt as though it was a great option for us to have a walk-in location in addition to our manufacturing business where we do all of our order fulfillment online and also ship to our retailers across the country. We design and create all the pieces in the store. So I design the fabric and the styles, and then they're produced for us all over the world in various factories. Like, this was all started based off of my kids, and I started sewing for my kids, and it was just 3 years ago. So it's kind of evolved pretty quickly into a brand, and now we have Melissa, who's our she works full time here, and we're just bringing on another full-time employee. So we're growing quickly from a brand perspective. We did the storefront really to anchor the brand and to have a branded space to photograph our pieces and put them online and just kind of tell a story about the brand. Our online business started very small, but it has grown quickly, so that's what we're focusing on as well. And then we also really, really value and appreciate our wholesale business with our boutiques that we ship to all over the country. I think it's all about customization, and so these pieces are really unique and special, have an heirloom quality, and now we have a customization component, and we do on-the-spot monogramming, which is really exciting. The response has been overwhelmingly positive and just really reassuring that this was a really great decision. People come in and they love the bright space and the happy clothes to just shop for gifts and for their own children. We did have a really great support system in Duxbury online, and now I think it's a great option for them to come in, see the clothes in person, touch and feel them, and have more of a connection to the brand.
Camp Nekon just received a helpful makeover this past Earth Day. What is Camp Nekon? Well, it used to be a Girl Scout camp in the town of Kingston, but now it's one of the lesser-used open space areas in town. By having the cleanup, the hope was to make the public more aware of its existence and, of course, make it more presentable in the process.
We are at Camp Nekon, and we are doing an Earth Day Community Cleanup Day at this particular piece of property that the town of Kingston owns. It's about 180 acres, I believe, of this camp, which also abuts the town Kingston State Forest, which is over 200 acres. Basically, we're looking for any kind of trash that's out there, some smaller pieces. We've got some large pieces, unfortunately, that people have dumped out there, such as a jacuzzi and a couch and some bigger things that people have put in. So we're working on trying to get that stuff out. The people that are here, we've got a bunch of scout troops that came in today, some high school students doing some community service, and then just some of our local community coming in to help get this property cleaned up, as well as just to let people know about this property. A lot of people don't know that this property even exists here in town. So Camp Nekon is a piece of property that the town of Kingston purchased from the Girl Scout community. Actually, I don't know how many years ago, but quite a long time ago, so it was actually an operating camp. And at that time, now since we've owned it, it has been more of just a conservation and open space. There hasn't been a lot of active recreation up here. The Boy Scouts do use the lodge that's on the property quite frequently and do a lot of their different badge requirements and things like that, but a lot of people use it for the trails, and there's a Butts smelt pond, so you can do some fishing and canoeing and kayaking as well. Right now we're actually moving it over to the transfer station, so we've got some of our town employees here, we've got our facilities department here, and part of our streets, trees, and parks department crew, and so we've been mobilizing all of the trash that we've got today up to our transfer station. Today was twofold, is to help get the trash cleaned up, but also just an awareness of the property. There's many people in town that have lived here 15, 20 years and doesn't know this place exists, so we would like to get people to know about it so we can keep it clean, and then also just provide an opportunity for more conservation and recreation space, so that maybe sometime in the future we could offer kayaking programs, canoeing programs through the rec department, maybe move our sailing program up here, some fishing opportunities, different things like that, a lot of trail hikes with the amount of acreage that includes in this property.
We are so pleased to have back on set Ed Thorne, who is the town administrator for the town of Pembroke. Welcome back, Ed.
Julie, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure to have Ed here with lots of info. We just had our town meeting, we just had town elections, and we are now looking forward to this summer. So let's talk about the things that are going to be happening in Pembroke for this summer, starting with a grant for the ADA transition plan.
Yeah, we received a couple of grants when we entered into the Community Compact program back in January. And one of the best practices that we looked at was having a long-range forecast model for our finance department, and we've finished that project. And the second one was an ADA transition plan, and this is something that a lot of communities put together. What it does is it goes out and surveys all town buildings, school buildings, our parks, beaches, whatever, and they do a survey of it, and they kind of like categorize things from a handicap accessibility standpoint. And the plan is put together, and then they have recommendations as to what you should do. For instance, one of the things that we've already done at town meeting was we funded the purchase of handicap ramps and mats for beaches, so that
which is wonderful.
Folks,
because it's so hard on the beach to be able to.
Absolutely, if you're in a wheelchair.
Anyone in a wheelchair, forget it.
Absolutely,
right.
And so we purchased those through CPC money at town meeting. So that's one of the things we can check off the list when we do the ADA plan. But what the ADA plan does is it makes the town eligible for future projects for construction of handicap accessible projects at our parks and town
public buildings, right? That's wonderful. Right. Now we also got a $119,000 grant to do with the computer systems. So talk about that.
Yeah, this is a competitive grant statewide in the Community Compact program. Again, it was a best practice that we decided to go after. This computer system will merge the town accountant's office with the school department. A lot of people don't realize that actually all the teacher and paraprofessional and custodians on the school side, all their paperwork is done by town government. Their payroll,
because they
accounts payable, and all that.
Basically work for the town, right?
Even though we had two separate systems and worked well, we saw the need to merge the systems, and we were fortunate. The whole project is going to cost about $150,000, and we were fortunate to get from the Community Compact program $119,700 for the purchase of the equipment. So that was a great thing for us.
So talk about, for people who don't understand what the Community compact program is. Can you just explain that?
Well, this was something that was initiated by the governor in January 2015. And I think now they've got every town and city on board, all 351 communities. I think we were like number 320 or something like that. But anyway, it's a great situation where you sign up for these programs and you get some grants right away. And then after that, after this third year, then it becomes very competitive. And then you know, like I said, you're competing with other cities and towns in the state.
But it's giving you seed money for a lot of these
And
projects that you need to do.
it's a great incentive for a community to enter into it.
Sure.
You know, we received 2 grants right off the get-go, and then the third one we got was the one I just talked about.
Wonderful, yeah.
And so we're looking forward to being in the program from now on.
That's excellent. Okay. $100,000 grant for parking at the Herring Run and a fish ladder.
Yeah,
what's that from?
That was an earmark from Senator DiMacedo's office.
Thank you, Vinny.
That we got, absolutely. And it's for park improvements at the Herring Run and for the creation and construction of a fish ladder to help with the herring. As most of us know in Pembroke, you know, the Herring Run Park is home to the Herring Run.
Yep.
And, you know, that's the one of the most visible of the situations where the herring pass through Pembroke.
Right.
You know, they come in from the ocean up the North River, and they, as I say, hang a left turn in Pembroke, and come through Pembroke, and they end up spawning on Oldham Pond. So
which is really important.
Literally journey throughout the center of Pembroke.
Right. Wonderful. Okay. And that'll pay for the parking and the Herring Run fish ladder upgrade.
That's correct.
Perfect. Now let's talk about swimming and the summer activities that go on in Pembroke.
It's that time of year.
Yeah.
So June 24th, we'll kick off our lifeguards being at the various beaches. They'll be taking applications for the swim program, which all kicks off officially on July the 2nd.
How many students? Do you know how many people we have involved?
You know, we average around 150 a year.
Is great.
It really is a tremendous program. And
all the parents just speak so highly about it.
Yeah, and we have it at both Little Sandy on Woodbine Avenue and Town Landing Beach, the main beach at Wampatuck Street. So we're looking forward to a nice, clear, fun summer and not have any problems with blue-green algae.
Yes,
like
let's
we
hope
did.
not. Yeah, let's hope not. And if we have a summer, we've had so much rain and so much really weird weather this spring. Also, July 2nd is when the beach is actually open.
Right. And, you know, all the Amy Hill, who's the director of the lifeguards, you know, has put together the program again, and they have her staff is on ready to go. A lot of them are college kids, so hopefully,
which is wonderful. Have them home for the summer.
They and it's a great job for them, and they enjoy it, and it's been a great program for the last 15 years or so.
And it will continue on. So a couple things in our last couple of minutes that happened at town meeting. The Proposition 2.5 override was defeated at the ballot.
That's correct.
It was passed at town meeting. Can you just explain a little bit, because that was kind of confusing to people who were at town meeting and then people who went to the ballot, and because they had 2 very different outcomes.
Well, unfortunately, it failed at the ballot box by 54 to 46 margin, which means that it wouldn't be a bad idea to go back and really do a better job of you know, publicizing that and showing a need for the additional police officers, firefighters,
and money for paving,
and $300,000 for street paving.
Right. So that was approved by all of us who went to town meeting.
Correct.
Quite significantly.
Yeah, it was pretty much a slam dunk.
Yeah, it was pretty much unanimous. But then when people went to the ballot box,
it's always a different question because you know, people are in the privacy of the voting booth. A lot of people, you know, you're talking about 2,100 people that voted, which is about 17% of the total registered voters, which is a kind of low turnout. But
that was
it
quite
was
a low
a Saturday, and it was a nice day, and you know, people just weren't that interested, unfortunately.
Yeah.
As opposed to the 200 people that were at town meeting.
Right.
So you know, it was a different cast of characters that you know, cast their votes on Saturday as opposed to that Tuesday night.
Yep. People should get involved in their town. They should pay attention to what's going on. They should attend town meeting. They should attend meetings. They should watch meetings. The information is important. And
and it just seems to be unfortunately a sign of the times nationwide.
Yeah, it's
where,
everywhere. It's
you know,
in all our
everybody's
towns.
very busy.
Yep.
You know, people get involved in local government when they need the garbage picked up,
Right, something specific for
or
them. Yeah.
you know, the plows, you know,
Yeah.
coming down their street in the middle of a snowstorm. But other than, you know, having to use fire and police, they probably have very little dealings with local government,
Right.
unfortunately,
Yeah, it's too
on
bad.
a daily basis.
Well, we'll work to change that.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, Ed. Till next time. And thank you for watching. If you want to see the show again, you can check out our website, and PCN is also on YouTube. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook to get up-to-date info. We will see you next week with a brand new PCN. From all of us at PACTV, have a great week.